2024 NECO Bece Paper 3, Question 1A. Find the value of x, y, and z in the figure below. Now this is the figure or the diagram below, and we're asked to find the value of x, y, and z or z. Some students might find this difficult, but this is very easy, provided you understand how to separate a part of the diagram from the main diagram to find the value of the unknown. Now in this case, we have this diagram. We're asked to find x first. Now looking at this diagram, imagine you can just only see this part of this diagram. With this part of this diagram, you can find the value of x. Let's redraw. We have this line here, then we have another one extending up, and this part of it is 135 degrees. This is a straight line. You've covered 135 degrees, the rest is x. And a straight line is 180. That means if you consider this straight line and you have traveled 135 degrees and you have x left to make it 180, to find x, you will do 180 minus 135 degrees. You can write as x plus 135 equals 180. And the reason is angle on a straight line. To find x, we take out the plus 135 degrees. X equals 180 minus 135 degrees. Standard in math, you have to subtract 135 from both sides. The result would give you the same value as taking plus 135 over the equals to sign, and it turns to minus 135. So we have x equals 180 minus 135 is 45 degrees. X is therefore 45 degrees. We know x is 45 degrees. Next we find y. Now this is y, and imagine this part, this line drawn here down is not visible. You can only see this straight line. You can see 30, y, and 64. Let's redraw so you understand what is being said. Let's say we have this straight line here. You have one line going towards here. You have your 30 degrees here. You have another going here. In the middle of the lines, you have y as the angle, and here you have 64 degrees. This is a straight line. You've covered 30 on this side, you covered 64 on this side, and you have y here. That means considering this straight line, you have these total angles sum up to 180. That's angle on a straight line. That means 30 plus y plus 64 is 180. I hope you understand. So we'll have it as y plus 30 plus 64 equals 180. Angle on a straight line. We have y plus, we add the numbers, 30 plus 64 will give you 94 equals 180. We have y equals 180, then this plus 94 goes over the equals to sign and turns to minus 94. You know what we actually do in maths is we subtract 94 from both sides, or we add minus 94 to both sides. The result is always this plus 94 going over the equals to sign and turns to minus 94. We have y equals 180 minus 94 will give you 86 degrees. Y is therefore 86 degrees. We know y is 86 degrees. Now to find the last letter, which is z or z, I hope you can see this triangle, because that is the only way you can solve for z or z. Let's say we ignore this part and this small extension. We have this. We know this part is 45 degrees. We know this part is 86 degrees. And we're looking for this angle, that's z. It's just the ability to see shapes in the main shape. Now in this case, we've solved for x using the straight line. We've solved for y using the straight line. And for z, we need to use this triangle to find z, because what you need to see is this triangle. And you being capable of seeing this triangle will help you solve for z or z. This topic is all about seeing the hidden connections. You should be able to see this triangle and see how this triangle will help you find this z. You have your y, you have your x, you can find your z. We have this has 45 degrees, this has 86 degrees, and these are unknown as z. And you know the sum of angles in a triangle is 180. That means z plus 45 degrees plus 86 degrees should equals to 180. So we have it as z plus 86 plus 45 equals 180. And the reason why the three angles sum up to 180 is sum of angles in a triangle. On the next line, we can say z plus, we had 86 plus 45. 86 plus 45 is 131 equals 180. We're looking for z, we have z equals 180. Then we subtract 131 from both sides, which is the same thing as saying this plus 131 goes over the equals to sign and turns to minus 131. The equals to sign changes it from positive to negative, and if it were negative, it changes it from negative to positive. This number owns this sign, and when it's going over this equals to sign with the sign it owns, it changes from positive to negative. So you have z equals 180 minus 131. 180 minus 131 is 49 degrees. So our z or our z is 49 degrees. Therefore, our x is 45 degrees, our y is 86 degrees, and our z or z is 49 degrees.